And this week, as we were mentioning earlier, um, the 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 title of this week is embracing the power within you, and we're really excited that you're here with us today, each one of you, because what we know is that this theme is very transformative. It can make a shift in your life if you really go within and really believe that the power is within you, because that's the only place where it resides. It does not reside outside of you. No matter what you do, you will not find it outside. And sometimes we call it being happy. We call it being financially abundant or prosperous, full of love. All that is part of the power that lives within you. And when we embrace that power and we remind ourselves constantly on a daily basis, moment to moment, we begin to realize that it is so. It is so, and that is the conversation that we're going to be embarking today in this day, because we know that when you go within yourself and align yourself with that source of yours, okay, that lives within you. I personally, on my own life experience, I can speak from there and say it is so. It is so true. And those that I invite whenever I have the opportunity to host this celebration are those people that know and practice this truth. And that's the reason why we can sit here and we can be here and we can support you in this journey, because we know that it is possible for you to have an amazing life. And Tara is really just going to be speaking about that and giving us some wisdom bites about empowering yourself and that power that is within you. Right, Tara?
Yep. And I'm going to start with something that when I looked it up this morning to find exactly the quote, I thought was Socrates. And Socrates said some similar things, but it was actually dear old William Shakespeare. And I
Mm.
suspect that some of you may well recognize this statement. It's a father's blessing to his son. To thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man.
Mm.
I think sometimes, I'll speak from my own experience. Sometimes I have believed that if only I got something out here, or if only I changed something in here, or if only they said something about me, that I would somehow be whole.
Mm.
And that for many years included how I set my intentions for the new year. I don't know about you, but I think the longest any of my intentions, New Year intentions, lasted was into February, at which point I realized I wasn't really doing the change or the action that I thought I wanted to do. So in the last few years, I've changed my focus a lot. And I invite you to consider whether this might also be valuable to you. Rather than looking at myself and judging myself and seeing where I was less than and could be better and wasn't enough and blah, 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 all those little chattery voices in my head, I instead asked myself what really mattered to me, what my heart values were. Those ways of being, not of doing, those ways of being that could shine a light on how I wanted to move forward. And so I invite you sometime in the coming days to consider one of the people that you admire and then reflect on what that person, living or dead, imaginary or real, Spider-Man might be it, what that person has as qualities that cause you to appreciate them.
Mm.
You could come up with two or three of them. And then, as a science of mind person, I know something about the qualities you choose. You can't see qualities you don't also have.
Mm.
So, if in someone you admire their authenticity, that they walk their talk, you also have that quality. If you admire their kindness, you also have that quality. And in this process, don't make a list of 26 things. Oh, I love this and this and this and this and this. Because at some point, that may become your to do list. I've got to be kind. I've got to be authentic. I've got to be whatever. And you've lost that sweet quality of being in your day to day life, of simply being kindness. We'll get to another stage, but I'm guessing Ellen might want to make a comment at this point.
Yeah, I really love what you just said, Tara, because it is so true, right? It is so true. That I see in you, I am. I cannot see it if it was not in me. And even if what comes to me to say is that even if you don't think that you have those qualities, they are hidden in you, and they, because you see it in somebody else, the universe is saying, I am, you are that too, I am that too. And
Mhm.
so we are here to polish ourselves, because
Yeah.
a lot of times we have, so it's just like we, each one of us is a diamond, a hidden diamond.
Mhm.
And a lot of us have so much dirt, from I don't know, depending on how old you are, you might have a lot of dirt on you, imagine.
Mhm.
But the younger you are, less dirt you have. But so that means that you have to do more cleaning, more reflecting, more going within. And like you say, I love what you just give. You say you suggesting that you write down 2 or 3 things that you admire in that person.
Mhm.
And if you do that, and that's really you're calling everyone to go within
Mhm.
and to see it that it's already there. It's not something that you have to work at, because it's already there. And what is already there, there's nothing to work at. It's really
Yeah.
just getting all that, getting all those thoughts that are telling you that you're not that, right?
Yeah.
All that judgment that, and what I'm learning more and more is that judging ourselves is the worst thing that we can do to ourselves. Judging ourselves is horrible.
I actually took this exercise to some leaders a year or so ago. And so they identified, in that case, I asked them to focus on one value because I was going to do this next step, which again, I invite your community to consider. Let's say you identified kindness as your quality, as the quality you want to recognize you really embody. Over the next week, notice how you are kind. Maybe a little thing like refilling your cat's water dish, or picking up some litter as you walk through the park, or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be this huge, big, oh my gosh, Nobel Prize level kindness. But just notice how you are kind in your day to day life. And that helps to enliven your awareness, to I say, clean the window so you can see it, of who you are. So, yeah, thanks, Ellen.
Yeah, yeah, that's beautiful. I have this quote here. And this quote is from Ernest Holmes. He said, "You must realize that this creative power which I am is also the creative power which you are. For you and I are one." And this, we find it in the Invisible Power, page 46. And
Mhm.
so, yes, it is so. what you see, what you are. There's no doubt about it because there's only one. There's only one spirit. There's only energy. Scientists say that we are all energy. There's nothing that is not energy. And so that really confirms that there's only one, regardless of the form that each one of us take or how we look or how we don't look like. We are all one. We just take in different forms. So it's good to remind ourselves. It's really, this quote just reinforced what we have been saying, that that quality that you see in others, it is in you as well. And so, Tara, one of the things that I would like you to share with our community is what strategies, other than what you just shared with us, do you think that it will be good for someone that would love to exercise their power, that power that lives within them?
Okay. So this may sound a little bit like I'm going off away from the topic, but I really am not. We are in the midst of all kinds of challenges right now.
Yeah.
And there's no way, as people living in this world in this time, we can say, oh, my life's fine, everything's cool, no challenges, everything's fine. And in science of mind, we hold a paradox. We hold that fundamentally the essence, that spirit, that God, that allness is only good. And that, just as Martin Luther King said, the art of goodness is unfolding. It's unfolding to the good. And we have some challenges. So here's why I pointed first to values. When we want to change something, internally or externally, but let's now for the moment talk about externally. Gandhi said it. Be the change you want to see in the world. So if you want to see more equity in the world, how might you be an example of that and let that sense of equity that you hold as a value guide you in what you want to do in the world, so that you're not reacting to whatever it is that's difficult to be with in the moment, but instead you're again going within, taking a breath, and noticing what your value is. For me, one of them is authenticity. So I can sit with stillness and say, all right, Spirit, how does my authenticity show up in this moment?
Mm.
How can I be authentic so that one would expect there might be a ripple effect? I have something, so it's really that grounding in your values. I want to add one little piece to it, if I can. A ministerial colleague of mine reached out to me about a week ago, and she wondered if one of her congregants could join a class I was starting, and it worked out beautifully. When I was getting to know the new student, she said that her minister had reached out to me because I had made a huge difference in her life as she struggled through ministerial school.
Mm.
I had no clue. In fact, one of these chats I have with this friend of mine, I'm going to say, so what was it I did? What happened? Because I had no idea. And that's often what happens when you're living from something that matters to you. You're not doing it as, I'm going to be kind so that the world changes. You're doing it because that's who you are. And in that being, and perhaps some doing guided by being kind, things may shift. But you're doing that because that's who you are, not because you have to do it or it's my duty to do it or any of that. You can't help yourself because you're so centered in that value. Just why I'm bringing you back to know what matters to you
Mm-hmm.
and come from there.
Hmm. Hmm. I love that. You really knocked on the next question that I was going to ask you. So that was good. I love it. I love it. And what comes to me is, isn't that interesting that when we're just living in our values and we're just being authentic to who we are and what we're called to do, we don't even know the impact that we are making in the world, right? We're just doing what we know what to do, and when someone comes and say, you're like, really? Yeah, like I don't like I
Yeah,
get surprised, like I'm like, really, I'll just be me.
yeah, yeah.
So I love that you say that, because when we're just busy being ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm,
We're so busy being ourselves. We're not trying, we're not forcing ourselves. It's just
mm-hmm,
being who we are here to be and who what we're choosing to be for ourselves. We
mm-hmm.
are also inspiring others. And that's the part that I love, is that without even wanting, we are inspiring others to
Yes.
be and to do and to have. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that that's the beauty of this experience, right? The spirit is having this experience through Ellen, through Tara, and here we are playing Sunday celebration, and
Mm-hmm.
all this juicy examples that is coming out is something that is just flowing through each one of us, and I love that. I love that, because that gives you an idea, for those of you that are here now and those that will be listening to this conversation later, is that you just gotta be yourself. Just be yourself. And as you started up earlier, Tara, if you see something in someone, asking yourself, what qualities do I see in this person? That's a beautiful exercise, because if we do that and really think about it, and we don't have to be in person. A lot of times we see someone on social media or the
Mm-hmm.
newspaper, or we listen or we hear someone on the news. There's always someone in that comes into our awareness, and I think it doesn't happen by accident. It's supposed to happen. Nothing happens by accident. Nothing is a coincidence. Everything is a reason. The divine has a reason for us to be in that experience, so we can recognize who we really are, right? That power
Yes.
that we are. Um, I have this other quote from Ernest Holm here, that says, it's from The Science of Mind, page 444. It says, peace is the power at the heart of God, which means it's really saying everything that we have been saying, right? It's in your heart. It lives within you. It's in you. You cannot help but to be it.
Oh, yes, you can, Ellen. Yes, you can. One of the opportunities, I was going to say challenges, but I'll say one of the opportunities of science of mind is the knowledge that we sometimes take on external beliefs or values or shoulds, or in our family, this is how we do this, that really are not in alignment with our core self. And I tell this story on myself all the time, but it works, so I'll use it again. I used to live somewhere where AT&T was our only option to have an internet provider.
Mm,
And up where I was, I probably called them at least once a month to tell them that the internet was funky. And I
mm,
worked in the law office where funky internet was a really bad thing. Um, and I had done it often enough that I knew the first 6 or 7 things to do. And if they all failed, then I called AT&T. So I was on one of those calls, and the person who called told me I needed to do steps 1 through 6. And he was certain that that would solve my problem. And I said, fairly politely, I've already done that and nothing happened. And he went back to do this and this and this and this, and let's see what happens. And I said, thank you, and slammed the phone down. Furious. So after that had happened 2 or 3 times, and I was in prac studies, and I knew that that was not a normal way of being for a practitioner, I stepped back and asked myself, why? What's the button? What's happening that when this person says do steps 1 through 6, I just lose it? And after some time sitting in reflection, not once, but several times, I recognized that one of the things that was really important to me, for whatever reason, and I just got the first level, I didn't bother with any more, was that I really needed to be seen as smart.
Mm.
And these agents weren't hearing me say, guys, I've already done it. What do I do now? And so I lost it. And that awareness had me let go because I then saw, okay, so your opinion of yourself is being challenged, and that's scary. That's like a saber-toothed tiger in the olden days. I'll bet that those poor guys that you're just radiating stuff at have to follow a script that they've been told. This is what you have to do. Doesn't matter what the person on the other end of the phone says, make sure that you repeat these 6 steps. And that allowed me to let go of that button, because
Mm.
otherwise I might say, well, that's just who I am. I don't like connecting with AT&T because, oh, and I got to notice that reaction. And that's what I'm
Mm.
inviting you to do now and then. When you see something where you're reacting as if your favorite friend just walked out on you, and all that happened was someone said, no, Tara, you're wrong. What's going on underneath that reaction? And get to know yourself even more deeply, and to know what beliefs you hold that maybe are no longer serving, that you can shift. Because
Mhm.
it's not as straightforward. Just know the good and everything's cool. I wish. But it does, as we get, what's the phrase? I found something too in this thing called you. You experience this good in such degree as you accept, believe in it, and feel it, as much as you really embody it without all the dirt on the window that Ellen talked about.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. That's beautiful. That's. I think that that's a great way to end the conversation, because we, as you have heard, Reverend Tara here, if you just follow a few of the steps first, you know, write down things that you admire of someone, and see where does that is in your life, or who, if that is in you, because that is in you, the fact that you recognize them. And then if something triggers you, that is
mhm,
also awareness, as the universe is saying, look at it, to
mhm,
see what's underneath. And what I want to say to that is that a lot of times, I find that sometimes I do my own inner work when that happens, but there are times that I find myself that doing it by myself is not working. And
mhm,
I can feel the uneasiness in my whole being. You know, I'm wrestling with myself. And
mhm,
so, what I find a very helpful throughout this journey, what I have always find throughout this journey, is having a practitioner session or speaking to a
mhm,
friend. Um, because no matter what, the more I grow into being who I'm here to be, is that I'm not here to do it by myself. And that's why we have a community. That's why I know that if I go through something, I can call Tara and say, Tara, can you please help me out with this? I'm having a challenge seeing the truth or the message through the situation, you know, and many people. And so what I want to say to you is that don't think that you have to do things by yourself. And that's why we invite you to be part of our community and be an active member in our community. Because when you do that, you surround yourself with a support system that is saying, you know what, it's okay. You know, it's not good or bad, it's just what it is. And you just we want to help you, you know, dust off all that dirt that is not supposed to be there, so you can see through the window so you can see clearer, right? So I think that you cover so much, Tara, with the stories. It was so beautiful, and the idea, folks, is that we are here to embrace that power that is within you. You know, to embrace the power that lies within you. And as you and me embrace that power, then we can really see a world that in our inner being know that we are here to experience. I remember hearing Michael Beckwith, who is the first person, one of my first mentors in this teachings, say, you are in the world, but you're not of the world. And for a long time, I couldn't really understand that. I couldn't understand you're in the world, but you're not of the world. And that could be tricky. You know, that could be tricky. But what it means is that just because you are in a world that is, it has a lot of things happening, I love what you said, Tara, opportunities. I like that. I'm going to steal that from you. Opportunities to grow, opportunities to go within, opportunities to reach out for help, opportunities to write on your journal. You know, those are all opportunities for us to remember who we are. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, folks, now with that being said, I want to invite you to join us with our affirmations. And the first affirmation for today, I want you to take a deep breath, and we're going to take a deep breath, and then we're going to repeat the affirmation, and then take another deep breath and go to the next one. All right. So here's the first one. Take a deep breath. And he says, it is so that I embrace my strength and radiate positivity as I go around making a meaningful impact everywhere I go. Let that sink in. Take a deep breath. And the second one, Tara, could you help us with that?
It is so that I am a beacon of light and compassion. Every day I use my presence to inspire and uplift others.
Hmm. Take a deep breath and let that sink in. The next one is, it is so that I confidently express my true self, fostering goodness and harmony in as many situations as possible. And so it is, and now it is, Ashe. Hmm. And in that space of alignment, in that space of remembering, I remember that there's only one power, one love, one mind. And as I remember that there's only one power in this universe that I call God, Yahweh, divine love, whatever I choose to call it. What I know is that I am that. I am that power. And when I say I'm speaking about you as well, as there's only one. And as when I recognize there's only one, every time I say I know that I am speaking about each and every one of you here present now and those that are listening to this broadcast later. What I know is that the power that lies within each one of us is the power that animates this body, the power that animates our existence, that allows us to experience this human experience and to be open to the love, to the goodness, to the prosperity, to the health, to the opportunities to grow and to expand and to embrace that you are, that I am, that I am God, as Ellen, as Tara, as you. There's only one. Remembering that truth about each one of us allow us to embrace the power. And as I continue to remember the power within, I can live in the world and be in the world as an agent of love, as an agent of peace, as an agent of prosperity, to be an inspiration, to be an inspiration for others that have forgotten. Each one of us is an inspiration to each other, to remind us to rise and to live what we're here to live for, what we're here to experience, this beautiful experience of life. I give thanks for this knowing. I give thanks for technology. I give thanks for each and every person that is connecting in this live stream. And for those of you that are connecting later on, listening to this broadcast, I am knowing and claiming that you are being blessed, you are being provided for all your needs and so much more, and that you are guided to be, to do, and to have all that you are here to have, all your heart desires. That's what I know, is that the heart desire is the desires of the Father, the desires of the divine love that lives within you. I give thanks for this and so much more. And I, with that knowing, with that gratitude, I let it be, knowing it does not return to me void. And so it is, and now it is. Ashe, amen. Mm, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so at this point, I wanna, for those of you that join few minutes late, maybe, or those that have been here before, earlier, we want to remind you again that here at One Love Center, we are waiting for you to reach out, because if you don't reach out, we won't know that you need it. And if you don't reach out, you won't be able to be supported by that community. Do you want to help us read that, Tara?
One Love Center has prayer professionals ready, willing, and able to remind you that Spirit is full of power, charged, and already within you for your immediate use.
That's right. And so we want you to remember that we hold your prayer for 7 days. And after those 7 days, if you want us to continue to pray for you, just please give us a call or send us an email. You can call us at 844-295-5155, or you can email us at redrod17@gmail.com, and we will be more than happy to continue to pray for you for that situation or that condition. Um, and if you don't reach out, that means that we will stop praying for you for that situation after on the seventh day. But also know that if you're looking to have practitioner sessions, you can have a practitioner sessions with any of us here at One Love Center. And if you don't feel connected with one of us, we have many practitioners in Centers for Spiritual Living that we can connect you with. Because at the end of the day, what we want is that you get the support that you need. That's the most important thing. And so please reach out to us. Now also we want to say thank you for always thinking of One Love Center as your spiritual center, as a place that feeds you spiritually, and that you feel called to do your donations. You can send your donations at onelovecenter.org. You could go to onelovecenter.org, click on the donate button. It's going to take you to PayPal. And you go through the process. You can also send the money via Cash App. That symbol is $ One Love CSL. And what I want to tell you is that when you do the PayPal, you can actually set it up on automatic, so you can send the money to One Love Center every month. I do that, so I don't even have to think about it. And what I know is that when you don't have to give, you don't have to give. Don't come from a place of having to do something. Do it because you want to, because you feel called to, because you feel joy to share your good. What you're doing is sharing your good in the form of money. Money is just another form of God, of the Spirit of God. All is energy. There's nothing that is not energy. So when we understand that, we're just circulating the love of God with each other in the form of money. So so with that being said, I want to invite you to do the affirmation of abundance. And I want you to hold your hand in your heart. And if you're sending the payments with your money, you can put it in your heart as well. And come to that place of gratitude, okay? In that place of gratitude, of joy, knowing that you're giving from an overflowing place. And so we say, money as one of the many gifts of spirit is good. As I share my offerings, I know that I am actively creating a space to receive more money, more gifts, and more good. I am grateful for the abilities that this good, that this money, and that this I'm grateful for the ability to give and for the good works this gives to in our center and in our world. And now it is, and so it is. Ashe, amen. And so, as I say, you can give at any moment. Also, we have announcements. We have a class that is starting next week, Beyond Limits, and you can go to onelovecenter.org and do the registration there. Okay, so don't miss out that class. Classes are very important. Someday it's just a teaser. Really, classes are very good, and Tara knows about that. The power of classes is really amazing. I would not be here if it wasn't for them. Also, One Love Center, we are requesting someone, a member or a friend that can help us with our technical assistance in managing our broadcast. They can give us a call at 844-295-5155, or they can email Reverend Rodney at reverendrod17 at gmail.com. And we bless you and we thank you for serving and for sharing your good through giving time to help One Love Center. Let's see. The other announcement that we have is that we have I belong to the Amada Comunidad, loving community of Latin America. And we have an upcoming event that will be in on November 1st and 2nd. Is going to be live and also via Zoom for those of us that are not in Chapala, Ajijic, Mexico. And so all the information, you can see it on the screen, is Dia de los Muertos, Date of the Dead. Is a fundraising celebration. It's going to be fun. You're going to learn. If you don't know anything about it, you can learn about this amazing and fun activity. And it's a way to honor and to remember those that have passed away. Okay, so you can get all the information. We have tickets already. You can register and get your ticket now. So if you have any questions or concerns, please make sure that you reach out either to me or you can reach out to Peggy as well, which you're gonna get in that information that you get there. So feel free to participate and to be part of a community that is here to support you. Reverend Tara, do you have any last words that you would like to share with our audience before we go?
Just to be delighted in who you are, to know you're enough, to know you're okay, and to get to know and appreciate every single bit of the little s self and the big S self that
Mm.
is who you are.
Mm.
Namaste.
I love that. The little self and the the greater self. I definitely learned something from you today, that's for sure. I love it. This is what happened every time I get around Tara. There's always something. I'm just like, wow, I didn't think about that, and it's so simple. That's the beauty of it, that it's so simple. It's
Mhm.
nothing difficult. So thank you so much, Tara. Let me see. I have some people, I think, here. Okay, so I want to acknowledge Elizabeth Mitchell for being here with us today, for Angela Feaster, and those are the ones that I can see. For those of you, all of you who I don't see, thank you for being here with us live. And for those of you that are going to be listening to this broadcast later on, thank you as well. Thank you for joining us and for being here with One Love Center. Um, So I think at this point we can actually do our closing prayer. For you, do the closing prayer for
Yeah,
us,
I'd love to.
Tara.
Oh, so settling in, maybe a deep breath and a sigh. Basking in the good, basking in the gratitude, basking in the love, basking in that embrace, the being in the allness, the oneness, the spirit that is within us, around us, and so much more. In deep gratitude for this time together, for the laughter, the insights, the smiles, those that heard and those that shared, for all of that and more as Spirit unfolds who we are, how we are, and that we are. I simply say thank you, thank you, thank you. Releasing this word, I let it be, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for being here with us. Again, thank you, Tara, for joining with us and playing with us on this Sunday. I really appreciate you so much. And I always love playing with you.